there'll always be some jerks picking on you. And then there'll be somebody else loving on you. Sometimes you think the ones that love you is picking on you. And sometimes you think the one that's picking on you loves you. But you've got to understand the difference. The one that loves you is always trying to help you multiply your dream. And the one sometimes you think that's loving you is maybe feeling sorry for you or trying to talk you into slowing down. They're the wrong one. When you allow other people's words to stop you, they will. You need to consider the source before considering others' opinions. What I'm trying to say is that before you can consider taking advice from someone, look at their life and see if their advice is worth following. Is their garden growing, or is it just growing weeds? Many times, I wish that people would have to show a statement of their net worth before they're able to share their opinion. I despise the guys who criticize and minimize the enterprise of other guys whose enterprise has made them rise above the guys who's criticized. That was good. We've got to learn how to deal with rejection. Smile and be nice. Show the beautiful smile and think. You'll eat them words, sucker. You don't know, man. You don't know how much rejection turns me on. I hate to lose. The first and great commandment about critics is, don't let them scare you. Charles Dodgson said, if you limit your actions in life to things that nobody could possibly find fault with, you will not do much. Nothing significant can ever be accomplished without controversy, without criticism. If you're going to be successful, you're going to become a very controversial person. You're not going to be accepted by everybody. All great ideas create conflict, battle, and war. It's a well-known fact among massage therapists that if you can feel whether a person is giving them positive or negative energy and when they massage them. If they're working on a negative person, they'll feel loss of energy. Then when they're working on a positive person, they'll feel positive energy. Now, it's interesting. If you want to succeed in all things, attitude is vital. More vital than you'll ever know. I believe in the power of seeds. We plant negative seeds, we're going to have a bad crop. If we plant positive seeds, we're going to have a positive crop. Success is an attitude. If people keep telling you their problems, they've got an attitude problem. If you got a good attitude, you overcome the problem. See, the first thing, if you are going to succeed, you have to have a big dream. Dream so big that you can make mountains out of molehills. The problem is, so many people have a molehill of a dream and a mountain of a problem. And what you have to do is switch it around. You got to have a mountain of an attitude, and you've got to shrink all your problems down to molehills. You've got to take care of what is most important first. You got to have direction in where you're going. And I'll tell you something. You're either going to stand for something or you're going to stand for nothing. Do you know who's the most prejudiced people in the world? Your friends. They'll tell you everything that's wrong about you. You know what? You don't need to be around them. Satan's favorite entry into your life is usually through those closest to you. You need to be around people who think you're great. If you want success, you better keep the faith. If anybody tries to steal your faith, you get away from them. Dennis Rowley said, expecting the world to treat you fairly because you're a good person is like expecting a bull not to attack you because you're a vegetarian. I agree with Fred Allen when he said, if criticism had any real power to harm, the skunk would have been extinct by now. Critics, while throwing mud, are simultaneously losing ground. Fear of criticism is the kiss of death. In the courtship of achievement, those who can do, those who cannot criticize. You can usually determine the caliber of a man by ascertaining the amount of opposition it takes to discourage him. Those who complain about the way the ball bounces are often the ones who dropped it. You can always tell a failure by the way he criticizes success. Small minds are the first to criticize large ideas. If your head sticks up above the crowd, expect more criticism than banquets. If you're afraid of criticism, you'll die doing nothing. Don't mind a fellow who belittles you. He only trying to cut you down to his size. A successful man is one who can lay a firm foundation with the bricks that others throw at him. If it were not for the doers, the critics would soon be out of business. Love your enemies, but if you really want to make them mad, ignore them completely. When I first started building my business, I dealt with all kinds of rejection. People laughing at me, ridiculing me. They said, "How could you be a winner? After all, we know you." See, the hardest thing for anybody to realize is that to become a success, the first step is you got to take it stepping over a lot of your friends who are laying traps for you. Most people will tell you that they'll never work, whatever it is. Well, guess what? If they believe it won't for them. There isn't a person here who, if they're going to live a full life, won't go through a lot of criticism. And the hardest thing in the world to understand is that to catch a dream, you must deal with the rejection of your dream by others you care about. Oh, they believed in all their fairy tales? They believe in the Wizard of Oz, Santa Claus, Easter Bunny, Bigfoot, but not in you? If you tell me who to hang out with, if you tell me who you hang out with, man, I'll tell you who you are. I agree with the old adage. Those who lie down with dogs rise up with fleas. It is always better to make a weak man your enemy than your friend. Those who do not respect your dream will not respect your convictions either. The good news that rejection many times is what gets you tough enough to win. When you get tired of hearing them say, "Who do you think you are?" you'll never make it. It'll never happen. That's when you smile and walk away. Get her out of here. I'm going to smoke you, baby. You're going to eat those words. One thing you've got to always remember, anybody who's not into edification is into division. Anyone who is into division is not into multiplication. We're going to have to divide ourselves from those who are trying to divide us because we're into multiplication. Whenever you've got division, nothing good happens. We makes me stronger. So spend time with people who are for you, not against you. There's nobody in the world who can hurt you as much as the ones who love you the most. Strangers don't bother me. But you know what? Sad about some people that are strangers don't bother me. But you know what's sad about some people is that strangers bother them more than the ones that love them the most. I went to Johnny Williams' house after he'd been in business about 6 months, and he started with strangers and had success. Then he went to college, and his first month in college, he had even more success. Again with strangers. Okay. He asked me to come out and meet his folks outside Chicago. So Bertie and I went out the day after Christmas. We drove out there. We were broke. We were just beginning in our business, but having some success. I'll never forget talking to his dad about the business and standing on the back porch of Johnny's house. And this guy goes by in. I'll never forget, a gray flannel jogging suit. He goes, "Hey Johnny, how you doing?" And I'm saying with my mouth wide open, "That's Paul Harvey." "Yeah, I told you he lives on the street across the street is the owner of Motorola." Johnny reminded me, "Well, he lived in a town I have never heard of." He was in a little community outside Chicago that was the wealthiest suburb in America at the time, River Forest, Illinois. His folks, friends, were all millionaires. His brother-in-law was there, and he was a cocky guy. So his father introduced me to him and had us sitting in the living room, and this guy was hammering me to death with opinions. But I just stood my ground and treated him with great respect. I was trying to be nice to this guy. Then he says, "Well, you don't have the education, you don't have this." I said, "But you know what? I'm going to keep on fighting, and I will have it. I will be there. I will have a big business." And he kept on going on and on. "I'm a doctor, son. I've got an education. I don't need it. And I confidently replied, this is a chance to multiply. Birdie and I left that house and we went back to our hotel. Johnny came over and couldn't believe we were staying at that dump. And he said, well, your business is successful. I said, Johnny, we don't want to put a whole bunch of money into rented space. We're here for a couple of days. I'd rather buy something and put it in my own house than spend more money on motel rooms. We need a bedroom and a bathroom. We're not buying this place. We're only renting it. So Johnny said, Dad's getting in. I said, what? He said he loves the way you beat the crap out of that cocky brother-in-law. He loved your stand. He just wants to get in and enforce you. Then anybody his dad and mom invited to show up. I remember his mother saying, we're going to have a policy. And I'll never forget this. She said, any of our friends, when we invite them to meetings, are either getting in or getting off our social list. I'm going. I've never heard this before. Everybody else is asking me, what do my friends think? But see, I started understanding the power of wealth thinking. They weren't worried about somebody else's thought. Big men don't laugh at big ideas. I thought, I go back to Rome, New York, and all the kids I grew up with were laughing at me, and they think I'm stupid. Now I go here over the river forest, and every one of these guys are multi-millionaires, and they think I'm a genius. Broke friends think I'm stupid, and rich people think I'm a genius. Who am I going to listen to? See, who are you going to let empower you? Do you want successful people to empower you and help you think about your lifestyle? And help you get the lifestyle they have? Or do you want broke people to teach you how to be broke? The Bible says you'll know them by their fruit. If there's no fruit, then there's no fruits. I don't know about you. You know, a winner takes a challenge. He lives on a dream and goes for the challenge. And when somebody says, you can't do it, baby. Most winners are nice, quiet guys, and they don't get in a fight or an argument there. They go out and fight to build their dreams. And then they just keep moving on in life. See, it's how you handle things that makes the difference. Back when you were a kid in school and some bully came out and punched you, did you cry? Didn't matter how much it hurt. I knew if I cried, he whipped the crap out of me. And then he chased me for the rest of my life. And if you let these bullies verbally whip you, you're dead. Every time somebody beats somebody up, I'm trying to help. I try to reinforce them and strengthen them. But if he quits, I let him know he was being a traitor in a nice way to his family and kids. Now that's his choice. But to me, this is my only chance. And this is your only chance to really be a hero that you can be. Now I love people, whether they quit or go on. It won't make any difference to me, but it will make a difference in their life. All winners understand. We get beat up on a regular basis, but we take our lumps and go on. All of us who have built a business discover that the bigger we built it, the more crap we go through. We went someplace new and we kept on moving. And we don't live on the hurts of the past. We live on the dreams of the future. Unfortunately, most people will be back on their jobs. Back to work again. Back dealing with average people. The ones who gave up. The ones who have all the answers and none of the success. The ones with the wise mouth and the slow brain. 99% of the people always told me that I couldn't do. What I couldn't do. Very few people, if anybody, ever told me what I could do. Even some of the ones who saw that I might succeed made statements like, well, Dexter, with your limited vocabulary, limited education, who will ever want to know you when you make it? Winners recognize winners. Losers never recognize winners. Every time they identify you as a loser, they say, you're a loser. You'll never make it. And you've got to look and say, they don't look like winners to me. They're not at all what I want to be. So if they think I'm a loser, they've been looking in the mirror too much and they think I'm like them. I've noticed that highly successful people don't run around telling everybody, you're a loser, you're a loser. The most highly successful people I know are always going around saying, you can do it. Hey, you can make it. See, along the line, when you start to want to achieve more, somebody will try to steal your dream, and they'll tell you what's wrong, you know? I have a burgundy book, and that book is my business guide, and it's called the Holy Bible. And it says God hates laziness. God talks about performance. Now, who should I believe? God, or the ones that I want to make new rules? Or the ones that want to make new rules? See, somewhere along the lines, you got to decide. If I want to fix me, then I go back to the manufacturer to get the tips. Remember this. If you're afraid of criticism, you will die doing nothing. And if you want a place in the sun, you will have to expect some blisters and some sand kicked in your face. Criticism is a compliment when you know what you're doing is right. There's no easy roads to success, folks. If you want to succeed, you got to learn to get hit and stay on your feet. So many people are looking for the easy way to succeed. Real success is built on you getting tough. You understand that? If somebody laughing at you, you're going to stop in your dream. What's going to stop you in anything else that you do too? There's always somebody laughing at you. So what? See, I've learned to let them laugh because I'm going to win. Words kill, words give life. They're either poison or fruit. You choose. Proverbs 18:21.